Swedish krona is generally a risk-sensitive currency, hence depreciating whenever risk appetite decreases or when growth is expected to slow. However, in regards to Euro-Swedish krona, this has not been the case for several months. Joining me now to discuss the reasoning behind this is Anders Eklof, a Chief FX Strategist at Swedbank. Anders, what's your opinion on the matter? Has the Swedish krona decoupled from ordinary drivers?
First of all, I would like to say that it's a different situation compared to 2008. Then Swedish banks were heavily exposed to Latvia and were in the middle of the storm. Now it's different. Swedish banks are much more solid, and also Swedish government finances, which is what we trade most of all, government sovereigns, is very strong, and that creates some basis for stability in the Swedish krona, I guess. And so that's the major reason. And then again, now when we have these firewalls in place from the central banks, we have euro-dollar swap lines from central banks, and we have also the 3-year loans for the European banking system from the ECB. Then we are in the modeling through scenario, which is like quite okay for the Swedish krona. So we expect Swedish krona to keep its stability and strengthen a bit against a generally weaker euro.
So in that case, what are your short, mid and long-term forecasts for both the euro stocky and indeed the euro NOK?
Our forecast for the euro stocky is like at 870 for 3 to 6 months, and that is based on the assumption that we have a broadly weaker euro, because that's important for the central bank, that the Swedish krona is not strengthening on its own capacity. And then against the euro Norway, we have 750 as a target for 3 months, and that is like the 6 month targets also.
We're also seeing a similar picture with the euro-dollar in terms of an apparent decoupling from risk as a driver. Is this also perhaps a fundamental change in the behaviour of the US dollar or not?
I think it's two sides of the coin here. Of course, we have some stronger outlook in the US, at least for the short run. And then, even if we have these firewalls in place for the eurozone, we have a lot of difficulties with weak growth, and we expect budget deficits to stay high or increase. And so there's a huge funding need for sovereigns in the short term in the euro area, and we expect that a lower euro dollar is consistent with the need for the eurozone as a whole. And even if market is very short euro now, we expect it to be the right position to have going forward. We can have some short squeezes, of course, but we look for 120 in like 3 to 6 months.
You mentioned a level of 120 in the short to mid-term for the euro-dollar, but what about further forward in, say, 12 months' time?
We would like to feed in actually some difficulties in the US because they need to bring up austerity measures after the US election. So we actually look for euro-dollar bouncing back a bit in 12 months to 130. So that's more or less a story about difficulties in the US, and they need to do some measures, and that will cap growth.
Thank you very much again for joining me and your opinion on the matter, Anders. Now, I'm afraid that's all we have time for today, but make sure you stay tuned to DukascopyTV. Goodbye for now.